Hey.
Yeah.
I got a lot of things. I got a lot of things I want to talk to you about, but you go first.
Oh, I was just going to tell you, I just finished typing business proposal / letter to Hannity that you can modify and send to all the big shows, offering the crowdfunding proposal. I just sent it to you as part 1, but it's pretty good. Part 2 might be talking about the minerals. Okay. I would suggest you forward it to Mr. B and Wiley Drake, and the 3 shows that are interested right now were all of them I talked to, really. Tom Stewart, John Lamb, Wiley Drake. Pretty much interested in reaching out to everybody. I talked to Guy. He said that he mailed the care package to Mr. B a couple days ago.
Oh, good.
He also said he won his lawsuit, and the property's now in the name of the Green Conservancy, officially and legally. We won. So the 20 acres is mine, he says.
Yeah. Great. So,
yeah, I just been frustrated, you know.
I know. Well, here's some things. I talked to a guy yesterday. Is that all the things you have to say before I go into my stuff, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, I wish you the best on this whole crowdfunding thing, and I pray it raises millions of dollars. I have no faith whatsoever in the American people. I don't trust lawyers. I absolutely I don't have enough negative words. And I know you think Scott Cantor's a good guy, and he's not lazy, and he's going to do you well. And I hope that's true, right? I hope he's a good guy, and I pray for the best, and I will do what I can do to support this process, right? But I don't have any faith in it, and I don't care what Glenn Beck did with millions of dollars, because I've seen what the American people do, and I don't have any faith in them. But here's what I will do, and I'll send all these letters. I'm not saying that I won't take action. I'm gonna be as active as I always have. But I talked to a guy yesterday. Okay, I talked to a guy yesterday.
We do have 3 shows right now, and I think James McCormick will be interested. So we really have what we need. But what I was kind of hoping that we could just secure one, either Hannity, Beck. I wanted you to forward this to Wells too.
Yeah, I sent an email to Wells, and I copied you on the email that I sent. So you saw exactly what I sent to him. But that's depending upon another human being who's very busy, who's got priorities, and he probably doesn't sit around thinking all day about how you're suffering in prison for 15 freaking years, and you spent 6 years in solitary confinement. It's not high on his priority list. You know what I mean? So here's the deal. And also I'm not so sure. I want to see people deliver on this copper water that's going to be advertised on the radio. I mean, if they're going to make some sort of crowdfunding, I don't know that anybody can deliver. I mean, everything has been so slow, and I'm not trying to badmouth anybody, but everybody's like fighting through their own challenges, right? Okay, so here's the deal. I talked to a guy yesterday. He knows a professor. I've got his phone number. I'm going to call him about your GALT motor. I've looked up some machine shops in Dallas, and I want you to tell me like what drawings I need to provide a machine shop, and I want to go get a quote from them on if I give them the drawing, say I got this genius guy in prison, he's got this motor, and I want you guys to build it for me, and what's the quote, and then if they have any questions, I want you to talk to them to answer any questions they have, and I want to see what it'll take to, get a machine shop to build your freaking motor, and just...
It's simple. The one drawing that shows, labeled AA1, it just shows the 4 stators and the rotor in the center. Those are the only shakes that I need to have made, because the pieces that are cut out are real thin pieces, and the side view just needs to count how many pieces you need to cut out to make a stack of them. You follow? In other words,
well, you said AA1, but what's the number? What's the number specifically? Do you remember?
I don't have it in front of me, but it was 101, I believe. It just showed 4 coils, and it's the one
Well, and I don't mean to be...
I told you to send the...
Yeah, I did. I sent all those... Okay, yes, I sent all...
I told you yesterday. I gave you the numbers yesterday.
Yeah, you did, and I sent every one of them to Scott Cantor, except for you said to send a drawing for a 20-inch rotor, and I looked through every single drawing, which is dozens of pages, and I don't have one drawing that has a 20-inch rotor. I got a 6-inch rotor, an 8-inch rotor, a 13-inch rotor, but I didn't find no 20-inch rotor drawing, so I don't know...
I think the 20-inch rotor showed magnets on a wheel, but I will go clarify that. And
Okay.
Give you a holler back.
Okay, and I don't mean to be in a bad mood. I don't mean to be in a bad mood. I know I sound frustrated all the time, but I just, we just go on year after year, month after month, and I don't even know what I'm getting into, and I could be getting into something that I don't even have the skill sets to accomplish. It seems like it's going to be very complicated. But if we can get a machine shop to talk,
Derek,
if we can get a machine shop
what you really need is a millwright. So what you really need is a millwright, because everybody tries to overcomplicate it. There's only two shapes. When you put a sheet of 6 or 8 by 4 met glass in the machine that cuts it out, I just need those shapes in those 4 corners and that centerpiece. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I mean, the cabinet is just a box. Just a box of aluminum box, but we can have any machine shop make the cabinet. And when Derek looks at these drawings, showing the picture in the center and the 4 coil stator pieces, you'd think it was a nuclear device or some complicated thing like a circuit board. It just all that matters is the shapes in proportion. All my stuff is geometry.
Okay, but
even my math system is geometry.
And I'm a very simplistic guy, and I don't have a lot of super duper mechanical skills. But help me understand what's wrong with this plan. If I go to Google and I type in Dallas machine shops, it comes up and it says Performance, a machine shop ready to serve all your machining needs. It says prototypes, production, mills, lathes, grinding, welding, repairs, and it's got a phone number and address. And if I go to those guys and sit down in front of them and show them some of your drawings and say, can you produce this? And I'll give
the first thing I would ask them is, what would you charge to put these shapes in an AutoCAD page so that I can have the guy in prison look at the page to make sure that the shapes are right? And if they said, oh, we want $400, we'll put those shapes in an AutoCAD, they'd probably say, well, we'll do it for less. But I would start by, unless somebody puts it in an AutoCAD, we can't really move forward. I need those 2 shapes put in an AutoCAD. That's really the first step.
Okay.
The second step is, how big do we want to build it? Because once you have the dimensions, let's say that you make the nubs 1 inch and the rotors 4 inches, it's all just 1 inch and blah, blah, blah.
This call is from a federal prison.
Once the shapes and sizes are in the AutoCAD, to make it 10 times bigger, you just go to the computer program, you put an X with number 10 there, you hit enter, and it makes all the dimensions 10 times bigger. So really, we just need a little tiny drawing drawn showing the correct shape of those 4 stators and that rotor in the center. That's really all we need. Okay. I could probably get it done in a few minutes if I ever got out of prison.
Well, but here's the deal. When you say those 4 shapes, that's not clear to me. So give me the drawing number, not now, just when you get a chance on Core Links, send me the drawing that has all of the shapes, and I'll take that to the machine shop.
The first number I gave you yesterday was AA1101, I believe. It was a drawing that showed it had 4 coils on it, and there's the pieces that we're cutting out are the pieces in each corner. There's 4 stators and there's 1 rotor in the center.
I'm trying to look at it now while you're talking. Yeah.
The rotor in the center is comprised of a stack of thin pieces to make up the big piece. See, those are the only shapes that I can't seem to get anybody to understand.
Okay, I got a drawing called 101 AA1, and it says GALT single phase configuration, 1800 RPM, 60 hertz, 2 rotor sets. It looks, when I look at this, it looks like the top view, and there's 4 squares on each. Yeah, there's 4 squares. I don't know what the round circles are supposed to be. Are they coils?
The ones that are in the 4, if there's 4 of them in the corners that are big and round, those are the coils.
Okay, so you got 4 coils, and then you got a rotor with nubs. But again, I look at this, and
the only thing I needed AutoCAD'd was that stupid piece in the center.
This call is from a federal prison.
In the center, and those 4 pieces that are identical in each corner. The The outside pieces are all the same, and all the rotor pieces are the same size. All the rotors are identical, and all the pieces in the corners are identical. There's no difference.
Okay, it's a top view, right? So, I mean, I can imagine the top view looking down on this 101 AA1 as being, how many pieces is the rotor? I mean, is it one piece? Is it multiple pieces that sit on top of one another? I mean, there's other description.
All the pieces of the rotor and stator are all the same underneath.
Okay.
The shape you need is only the piece on top. Because all the rotors, as many as there are underneath, they're all identical. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Okay.
That shape that you see on the very top one, that's the only shape that needs to be AutoCAD'ed.
All right.
And I would just say, well, it needs to be 1 inch deep, so therefore you need 30 of them. Because see, when they cut these out, they're going to cut out a whole bunch of them, and you put them in a pile, a stack.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, well,
and I can talk to the people that are going to do the work. Like I would talk to MetGlass if somebody would give me their phone number, get a number for a technician over there. But I was hoping that MetGlass would cut out those parts are the only parts that are made out of MetGlass. The rotor and those 4 pieces, they're called stators. And if we can get those pieces cut out, I also sent you a page, and I put it on the list yesterday, that showed just the rotors separately.
Just the rotor separate.
They showed the stators.
Yeah. That would be 108-AA3. Yeah, that shows. Okay, so here's the deal. I got a professor that wants me to call him, and he's going to ask me about your motor. I'm not going to be able to explain all the details that you can, so I'm just going to say that it always gets into free energy, and they want to say what's the concept on which you say this thing works. And I'm going to say you have to turn the rotor, and it produces more energy than what you put in. And he's going to say that's impossible, and then he's going to ask me to explain how it works, and I don't know how to explain how it works. So I'm going to ask you to call him. And at some point, because I'm not going to be able to. Okay, all right. So I've got a I got
plenty of minutes. The way it does work, though, is that when the coils are plugged in, the stator, when it's north, it grabs the south nub. So north grabs the south to top dead center, and when it gets to top dead center, the coil becomes south and pushes the south away. So it's say north grabs south, and then north push north. Or south push south. So it's pulling and pushing. It's not hard to explain, really. I can do it. I'll call him.
Okay, all right.
I talked to your guy twice yesterday. Everything's fine. See, what I was trying to do with Scott was get a middle guy in the middle that can set up the account, collect the money, represent us as a lawyer.
Yeah.
And that way, if all these people don't get done what they're supposed to do, we don't end up getting in trouble. Because if we collect, $50,000 for shipping copper to Africa, and somebody runs off with the money, it's going to be a problem for you if you're putting your name on it. So and for me too. So what I want to do is I want to make sure Scott, because he's our lawyer, that he pays the people when they actually get the work done. If somebody does the work, Scott can pay him.
All right.
I trust him to do that.
Yeah.
And I also trust him to create a corporation and put our name. We can be on the board of directors. You can be a board member. Fine with me.
I just want you get out of. I just want to get you out of prison. When it comes to lawyers, I'll send him whatever message you want me to send him. I'll be nice and smile politely, but I absolutely hate and detest and loathe. Okay, I don't want any. Don't expect me to be friendly to him. Lawyers are why the hell you're in prison. If you look at the amount of lawyers you had. Anyway.
I understand all that, but you're missing the point.
Yeah.
He's not a criminal lawyer,
okay.
He's never practiced getting people in or out of prison.
Yeah.
He's never been a prosecutor. In fact, when I said he was lazy, he really has no interest in law other than the fact he's really good at it.
Yeah, but I'm not here to badmouth him. I don't even know him, but let me ask you this. Anything that he does for you, I guarantee it's going to have a price tag. I got to have 10% of this. I got to have $5,000 for this. He already, you know what I mean? It's lawyers won't do anything without any freaking money.
I understand all that.
Okay, all right.
I've already paid him $5,000, but he didn't do anything. And so
okay.
We're at a point right now, I was trying to explain to you, that we're just going to take a percentage of the money that's raised for the transformer. He's going to take a flat, like 5% or something.
Okay. All right.
Some amount and he's going to do everything. He's going to file for the patents for us. You need somebody to stand there and protect us a little bit, because and somebody might do something that we don't like them doing, and we might end up being in trouble for it because we're not in control, you know, and I'm not in control.
I know. I pray that he does what you want him to do. I really do. I really do. Okay.
And you know, Grozade was the senior partner, and he was a real mob attorney. And I told you, not only was he a mob attorney, but he was a good Christian guy. And I just love George. He's the only lawyer I ever met that I could say you'd like.
Yeah. Okay, it hung up on us. We never get enough time.
An inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future calls of this nature, dial 7 now. To decline this call, hang up.
Yeah, Rudy.
Hey, David. So I just got off the phone before you called with a guy. It's a machine shop in Dallas. I told him the story about you. Of course, he's not interested in prison stuff, or he said he don't build electric motors, but he can build parts. And he said, send me what you got, and I'll give you a quote of what it's going to take, and I'll tell you whether I can build it or not. So I just want to work with this guy and see how far we get down the road before, we run into anything.
What I would do if I were you is send him the side view too.
Okay.
Then give me his number and I'll call him.
Okay.
See, what I was trying to explain to you is Guy won the lawsuit. He asked the machinist what he would charge you to put those two shapes in the AutoCAD. Because we don't need somebody to build the whole transformer.
Yeah.
I told you that I think MetGlass would cut out all the parts.
Okay.
Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
And then what the machine shop needs to do is build the box that holds it. That's all.
Yeah. All right.
I'm willing to talk to the guy.
Well, let me give you his phone number. Let me give you his phone number.
You might send him the one. Okay, go ahead.
It's his job, and you can tell him that Rudy called him about a prisoner. He'll remember my call. I want to give you a phone.
Okay.
I want to give you a phone call to a professor at Okay, hold on. His phone number. He's a university professor.
Professor. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, and I listen. Also, my friend's wife, she ain't gonna take the copper. Wife, my first wife died of cancer, and I could not convince her to do anything about it other than take chemotherapy. So, I'm not really interested in watching people die. So, I want to help build this motor, and I think if we get this motor built, it could be a revolutionary thing that will get you out of prison, right? Because you're the guy who invented it. So. That's what I want to spend my time doing.
The reason I was trying to work with Scott was because the reason he's broke and all the time getting thrown out of his office is because he's not very ambitious and he's not greedy. And Grozade used to get mad at him because he likes to go play Nintendo. But I know he has a lot of ability, and what I would like, I don't think Scott has his heart in being a lawyer. He really doesn't.
Yeah.
What I kind of thought about Scott was that once we had enough revenue, was that he could just work full-time or part-time. I just need somebody that does what we tell him to do, like go meet with so-and-so and get the contract signed. Okay, this is what I want, I just need, he could be like representing our company and doing what we tell him to do. That's all. Because I've known Scott for 30 years now. I knew him when he was in his 20s.
Well, you know him, and you have a comfortable feeling about him. But you remember that drawing that I sent of you of all the people that surrounded you? Your father was up in the upper left, and you had the lawyer who screwed you over $7 million, and what's his name? Hoyt, right? And then if you look around that circle of people in your life, there was a ton of lawyers. The lawyers were screwing you over left and right every time you turned around,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Yeah, my father went to law school. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not saying anything bad about your father. He did advocate for you, and he still does, and he's in bad health now, as far as I know. But listen, I just want you to get out of prison, and we really need you out of prison, and we need somebody like you butt whooped out here. They're really cutting down on freedom of speech big time. I mean, anytime we try to say anything about the truth or the establishment being corrupted, they squash our freedom of speech. So we need resources to fight back.
I know if I wasn't in prison right now, I'm excited about the fact anybody can be on the radio. We can get on the iHeart Radio network and we can have a show, and we can really have we can reach people that want to be reached. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, he's like an openly homosexual dude. He said he doesn't want anybody like Alex Jones, a violent conspiracy theorist, to be on his platform. So he banned him. Well, I mean, what if firefighters said, I only save houses of Republicans. So if you're a Democrat and your house is on fire, I'm not going to come put out your fire. Or what if the people who deliver the electricity say...
Does he own the iHeartRadio network? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I don't know that he owns iHeart, but he does own iTunes. iTunes is a very big platform that everybody listens to on their iPhones. Everybody and their brother has an iPhone. So Alex Jones or people that are considered conspiracy theorists can't get on iTunes. And... and also, like, what if the electric company said we only deliver power to Democrats? We're not going to deliver power to Republicans. It's really getting bad, is what I'm trying to say. And they're really squashing freedom of speech. And you can't say anything bad about homosexuals. You can't say anything about conspiracy theorists.
Well, I think that's why they really don't like me, is because people actually believe me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. Yeah, you can get on the corner and say anything you want to. It's just when you get a following, that's when they don't like you.
I kind of did have a following. I had 30,000 doctor customers. 6,000 doctor customers.
Yeah.
I had 30,000 loyal customers at the time.
Right.
This call is from a federal prison.
People just want to hear the truth, and they recognize it sometimes when they hear it.
Yeah.
But anyway, you need to tell Mr. B there that that Guy sent the stuff, and that I'm gonna type up a thing on the crowdfunding for the minerals to go to Africa. I'm trying to do everything I said I would do. I'm doing the best I can.
Man, I know. I'm
trying to call him, and his girl won't answer the phone. She won't push the button. So
I'll text him and let him know. I'll text him and let him know.
Okay.
Also, I'm surprised you've maintained your sanity after all this time. So, you don't have to, I know you're trying. Just maintain your sanity, brother, because we need you to, we need you on the outside. And I think the Lord is going to open up a door, for your freedom. And we don't want you to get out of here and, be insane because they've treated you so bad. I can't imagine spending 6 years in solitary confinement. I just can't imagine going through that.
Well, I just spent 3 weeks in solitary confinement.
Yeah, I know.
We spend about 30% of the time locked in our cells, and we can't get out to even take a shower.
Yeah, I know, man.
I know. It's horrible here.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm the one person that needs to be standing with you, fighting them, and that's why they don't want me out.
Yeah, I know.
Because my voice, people believe when I say, they believe me.
Well, you have a lot of skill sets, and you have a lot of inventions that are very important, and we want to try to bring those to fruition. And I do believe that all the answers to every answer to any problem we got is in that Bible. I really do believe that.
That's true. You need to explain to Mr. B that we're trying here, and tell him thank you for what he's done.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I was going to get him. You got him a 606 number, but he never answers. So I'll keep trying every morning. I'll give him a call. You got to tell his secretary to take my call.
This call is from a federal
Can you actually hear?
When to call back?
Can you actually hear a woman's voice when you're calling?
Yeah, but she won't push the button. She says hello, and then that's all I hear.
Okay.
And then she won't push the button, and then it hangs up.
Okay.
She has a real high-pitched voice. Hello.
Okay. It could be his granddaughter. It probably is his granddaughter. Maybe she's maybe 6 or 7 years old. I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was his secretary. Sounds like an older lady.
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Like a secretary.
I don't know. He has a lot of family members, so who knows? Who knows?
I kind of would like to hear how things went and what he thinks, and what we're up to. And I was going to try to call Malcolm, too, and try to talk to Malcolm about what we're attempting. Malcolm wanted to take the transformer. It's actually a magneto. I should quit calling it a transformer.
Yeah.
Malcolm had an interest in taking that to Australia,
Yeah.
But again, I can't go do missionary work or even leave the country unless I get a pardon. The commutation's not going to get me anywhere. Get me reporting. They want me to go work at Walmart and be a greeter. My PSI says I'm not even allowed to make minerals. I'm not allowed to borrow money. I never cheated anybody. Why am I not allowed to borrow money?
Yeah, let's just get you out and worry about what you're where you're going to get resources and where you're going to live. We'll figure that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We just got to get you out.
But anyway, on the subject of the Met glass, they have a laser cutter, and I was trying to get Derek and you to get in touch with Met Glass and get a bid to make those shapes on the CNC. I really wanted Met Glass to cut out all those parts in the center, the guts. I wanted Met Glass to do all that work. I figured, why would you want to buy the 4x8 sheets from Met Glass and have a machinist charge you a bunch of money to cut it out when Met Glass has a laser cutter and they cut it out anyway, any way you want it? That was my thinking, you know.
Well, okay, I'm a little confused. You know, I just gave you the phone number to a guy in a Dallas shop, a machine shop, and now you're saying we also need Met Glass to do some stuff too. So I'm a little confused on what part Met Glass.
No, I'm saying that from the beginning, I've been trying to get. They just told us to lock down.
Okay, all right, we love you.
Oh man, I was trying from the beginning, you know, to get Met Glass to tell me how much they would charge to cut out those shapes, because that's 90% of the job. The cabinet can be made by any machine shop. It's just a square box, you know.
Well, yeah.
With bearings in.
It's not clear to me. It's not clear to me which portion Met Glass does. I mean, listen. Let's talk to
the rotors and the stators. The rotors are in the center, and the stators are the pieces that react.
Yeah, I understand
it's
that. Why am I talking to the machine shop if Met Glass should do it? Let's continue later. Okay, I love you.
Well, call Met Glass if you have a chance and see if they'll. You can email them the AA101 or whatever. See if they will give you a price to AutoCAD those two shapes that are in that picture. They're gonna lock us down.
All right, I'm gonna try to get a phone number from Met Glass. Okay, all right. Okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye.